o'clock, and we welcome everybody. Can we have a roll call?
And just as a reminder to all who are in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Calling the roll, Ms. Simon,
Here.
Ms. Stevens,
Present.
Mr. Jones. He is here. Mr. Schrein,
Here.
Ms. Conwell. Ms. Conwell is absent at the moment. There is a quorum. Also like the record to reflect that Councilman Miller is in attendance.
Thank you. Is there any public comment?
No, Madam Chair, no one is signed in.
We do have minutes from February 1st. Can I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So move.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Minutes approved. So we're going to move on to, first, we have one matter that was referred, a resolution. Can I have that read for the record?
Resolution number 2023-0026, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to the United Negro College Fund for the purpose of sponsorship support of the 2023 Cleveland Mayor's Luncheon to raise scholarship dollars for minority students from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Well,
Could we have a little discussion?
yeah, we're going to call up.
Well, discussion actually follows after the motion.
No, we were usually, so who do we have to
Sorry about
speak
that.
to this
Okay.
resolution?
I wasn't sure which way to go. Sorry about that. I
Oh,
thought,
that's okay. I was waiting.
I thought I was going to get a discussion was going to follow.
But that motion can stay
Yes.
until after. Welcome to the meeting.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon.
Can we have your full name, please?
My
for the
name is
record?
Steve Miller. I'm the Area Development Director for United Negro College Fund.
Okay, thank you so much. You want to talk to us about what's going on with the fund and the ARPA dollar contribution you're looking for?
Yes, ma'am. Should I get into my presentation and talk through that? That'll be helpful, so I
Sure.
won't be redundant. Well, first of all, I want to thank Commissioner Meredith Turner for this opportunity. She did have an opportunity to attend the UNCF Mayor's Luncheon that we had here in February. We are a nonprofit organization that works to support local minority students who want to go to and through college. So this presentation that we have is just a general overview of the work that UNCF's been doing since 1944. We've raised over $5 billion, and we have 37 member institutions that are part of the UNCF family. Those member institutions are private schools that don't receive state and federal funds. There are a total of 103 historically black colleges, but we provide scholarships to local minority students whose household income generally is under $30,000 to attend any accredited 2- or 4-year college. So we also have 10,000 students that we provide over 900 scholarships annually, and we've been doing this for, again, almost 80 years, $100 million in scholarships to over 40 programs that we provide. Again, as I mentioned, we started in 1944. UNCF was originally started to support minority colleges to come together to raise funds to make sure that those primarily private schools had enough money to operate and to provide educational opportunities to local minority students who could not attend predominantly white institutions. Who we are and why does it matter? UNCF was founded to support member institutions. We're now the largest scholarship provider for students of color in America, only second to the United States government. So students who apply for our scholarships have to fill out a FAFSA form like every other student, and we provide scholarships based on merit and need. Okay. HBCUs only represent 3% of all of the 2- and 4-year colleges, but we produce almost 20% of all African Americans who graduate from college. We have a large footprint nationally, as you can see. I'm responsible for all of Ohio and Kentucky. We do our Mayor's Luncheon in Columbus, Dayton, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Toledo, Lexington, and Louisville. We also do our Walk for Education, which we'll have here in Cleveland again in August of this year, to continue to raise unrestricted dollars to support our scholarships and our institutions. This is just a picture of our 37 member institutions. Many people are aware of Morehouse and Spelman, those very, very popular schools, but there are 37 member institutions, which are primarily private and originally were started as church schools. But we have 103 historically black colleges all over the country. So one of the things that is impactful for counties, cities, corporations is that we provide workforce diversity talent for organizations that are looking to become more diverse. College-educated talent that will help those organizations grow and help create new leaders in the future. We do this through a number of opportunities through our scholarships and internships programs. So there's national significance for our scholarships. National statistics, 6% of all African-American high school students graduate based on the ACT scores. 58% of those African-American applicants were admitted to college. But the most important part is that 25% of STEM-related bachelor's degrees are earned by African-Americans who attended an HBCU, which is very startling when only 3% of all STEM jobs are currently filled by minorities. So we're endeavoring to try to increase the knowledge base, the graduation base for minority students to get involved in STEM education, along with other key indicators like 10% of all African Americans who attend college went to HBCU. 20% of African Americans who graduate from college went to HBCU. 24% of STEM degrees are given to African Americans who attended HBCU. 50% of all African American doctors attended HBCU. 50% of all African American lawyers attended HBCU. 80% of all African American judges attended HBCU. So these numbers are undeniable, and that's why it's important for us to continue to support these schools, but also give young people the hope and vision that there's funding and there's institutions out there that are culturally competent to help them be successful at the next level. Why invest in UNCF? It's clear because of our scholarship programs, the work that we do, the support that we provide, cities, businesses, counties, individual families, that all of our programs are designed to educate and attract and engage and inform, develop African American students who are prepared for recruitment and rewarding careers upon graduation. We know without education, there is no hope. And with some of the tragic things that are going on in our communities with our young people, with some of the violence, social justice, we believe that education is the key to help them be more successful, be more productive citizens. And we approach this through our UNCF scholarship program through a four-prong approach, or five-prong, to attract, engage, inform, develop, and recruit minority students to attend college and to participate in our scholarship and internship program. We solicit funds from organizations like yours and corporate partners to provide scholarships for students to go to and through college. That means a high school senior can become a freshman. A freshman can become a sophomore can become a junior, and then in that junior summer, we provide internship opportunities. Then they go back and graduate as seniors, and they've gone and learned how to be professional through our student leadership programming, student professional development programming, so that when they come on board to a corporate partner, they're better prepared to be successful. They've been inculcated to the culture of that organization rather than just kind of throwing them to the wolves, so to speak. So it's a very involved program. We have a number of corporate partners that participate in this. And we do have special programming that's specific for STEM, for finance, for healthcare, for business. We just received a $190 million grant from Fidelity, which is the largest individual gift that UNCF has had in its history. And that will help ensure future generations of this educational opportunity. Our Pathways program really helps continue to build that through our corporate partners. And these are just a few of the corporate partners that we work with nationally. Anheuser-Busch, Shell, we've got United Health, Wells Fargo. I put on particular scholarships myself with Battelle, with DeVry, Papa John's, Cardinal Health, Owens Corning. So as I work in all of the cities that I'm responsible for and others like myself nationally, we're really creating pathways for these students to be prepared through corporate support and civic support like yours. Okay, we're stuck here. Maybe my battery ran out. But, thank you. What we've had and what we did here last month was through the opportunities with corporate partnership and partnership with the mayor, was to bring almost 700 people to Cleveland at the convention center. We raised over $235,000. We also received a $125,000 restricted gift for scholarships from Metro Health as one of our new partners. And this pathway program that we have really is connected with our unrestricted gifts, our programs and scholarships, our workplace giving, which is corporations have an opportunity to allow their employees to give to UNCF through payroll deduction. We have special events like our mask ball and our Walk for Education and the mayor's luncheon that we had here, which raised $235,000. And the money that we raise in Cleveland stays in Cleveland for Cleveland local minority students. Of course, individual donors and volunteers. So, again, we believe that UNCF is the principal minority educational partner for Cuyahoga County, as well as other corporate entities and individuals to really help students go to and through college. Everybody knows, and I want everybody to repeat with me, that a mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. I know you've heard that before. Many of us remember that from old Lou Rawls days, but we've rebranded, we've re-energized, and through our leadership of Dr. Michael Lomax, we're continuing to raise, hopefully our next goal in the next 5 years is to raise over $1 billion. So every dollar counts. These funds that we're asking for are very important for local kids here in Cleveland, and we're just so excited to be participating, be a part of this, and I'm willing to answer any questions that you have at this time.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Questions from committee? Councilman Sharon and then Conwell?
Yes, that was fantastic. Do you have affiliated schools that would be in Cuyahoga County with the program?
Well, when you say affiliate schools, any
You have a college that you would, that, I was trying to figure out where your dots were in your map that you had.
Well, basically, it's any accredited 2 or 4 year school. So
Oh,
that
okay.
means Cuyahoga, Tri-C, Cleveland State, Case,
Okay,
Kent, Ohio State, Hampton, Harvard. Kids can go to any school they want as long as it's a 2 year or 4 year accredited school. And also, they can attend DeVry, because I built a scholarship for DeVry. So if you're not really a 2 or 4 year college student, you can go to DeVry and get a certificate and start to work right now.
okay, thanks. I saw your picture of all your slides of.
Yes, sir.
Of all.
Well, that just kind of
like
shows
Morehouse.
that, you know, we're a national organization, has local impact.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Conwell?
Thank you, through the chair. The $10,000 that may go through, is it just for the city of Cleveland?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Because District 9 represents other municipalities, so.
Well, when you say for the city of Cleveland, I mean District 9 or whatever, the metropolitan Cleveland area. So of a
So
young
were we
person that-
talking about Cuyahoga County instead of just the city of Cleveland?
We historically provide what we call donor intent. So whatever your intent is, that's what we will deliver.
So that was my question, you know, because she represents more, you know.
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Thank you.
Council President Jones?
All right. I apologize if this question was already asked while I was out, but how does a student qualify for a scholarship?
Great question, President Jones. Any student will go to the uncf.org/scholarship, and we have hundreds of scholarships available. They'll create a student profile of what school they're interested in, what field of study they're interested in, and then based on that, there's a number of different scholarships that will pop up. And of course, they have to fill out a FAFSA, which creates the government-assisted need evaluation based on what their financial status is. But we also provide merit scholarships as well as need-based scholarships.
So you do both, you provide the actual scholarships and help students navigate other scholarships or locate others?
We provide navigation and support for UNCF scholarships that are need-based or merit-based. Now, there are other numbers of other scholarships that are available, but UNCF is the second largest provider of funding for minority students in the United States, only second to the federal government.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Stevens.
Well, I'd like to make a statement on behalf of my colleague, Meredith Turner, whose idea this was. We're proud to make this commitment of $10,000 as long as my colleagues all agree with me to UNCF. The comment that has, I guess, is the newer part of the newer mantra is that UNCF and HBCUs make America stronger, or something to that effect. We're incredibly proud to help make America stronger. It has long been a myth, or the old adage that Grandma said, that America would not have been the country it was without African American labor and intellect, to change everything from how peanut butter was made to how we advance in the sciences. The first African American college to be led by African Americans was Wilberforce here in Ohio.
I'm a graduate.
So I got that right?
Yes,
Sometime
absolutely.
in the mid 1800s, since Meredith asked me to do this, I did a little homework.
Yes.
So the reality is that education is incredibly important to the African American family and psyche. Reading, writing, and learning about how our history works to make us stronger and brighter in the future is incredible. And of course, those of us of a certain age never believed we'd have someone who was an HBCU grad in the White House. That is, our vice president is an alum of Howard. And so the effort that goes into UNCF and to making HBCUs strong is the Lord's work, and we're proud to help invest in it with our few pennies, the widow's mite, and so to speak. So I'm, on behalf of my colleague Meredith and myself, we're glad to have this opportunity, and we hope that all the members of this committee and members of council will vote to make this $10,000 investment a reality. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much. I do have a question about the dollars. Scholarship fund that potentially we're funding with this grant. Are these last dollars in, out? How do you apply the scholarship to applicants?
That's a great question. Historically speaking, is because every student has to apply through our scholarship portal, but they first must apply through FAFSA. It creates a level playing field because Jamal might only need $2,500. Keisha may need $7,500. So it's really based on how that works out. So that's basically how those dollars are applied. Unfortunately, all the money that we've talked about that we raised, we still can only supply funding for about 60% of students that apply. So there still is a great need, but your dollars and every dollar is very, very important. And we, through the almost 80 years of working with minority students to provide this aid, we believe we've worked out the most fair and appropriate way to apply these funds. These funds go directly to the institution. They do not go to the student. So that's the best way that we found it works the best for your dollars and any other donor's dollars.
Thank you. So as a follow-up, the 60% number you just put out there of students, potential students who might apply and get awards are still missing out on many. Is that statistic also applicable to Northeast Ohio, Cuyahoga, the program here?
That's a national
Yeah.
statistic.
How are we doing here?
I have included, or I can include, we have a document, this is an impact statement that shows the number of scholarships and the dollar amount of scholarships that we give out specifically in this marketplace. In all of my markets and in our markets nationally, we show whether it's 10 or 15 scholarships and the average dollar amount and the school that they attended. So the more money we raise, the more scholarships that we can provide. I think the other important thing is that we have to continue to educate students, teachers, administrators, and especially parents that there is money available. We don't want them to assume that I'm not going to get any money, because we give out millions and millions of dollars based on merit and need. So we don't want a family to think, well, I make too much money, I'll never get the money, or my grades aren't good enough, I won't be able to get the money. Through the breadth of schools that we have available for students to attend that we do not choose, PWIs, which are primarily white institutions, as well as historically black colleges, there's a lot of money, there's a lot of opportunity. And speaking of Wilberforce, which I'm a graduate, Wilberforce would take just about anybody because we know that you can't determine the future success of a young person just based on, some number or whatever. We want to make sure kids have an opportunity, that they know they have an interest in going to college, those funds will be there. My personal story, I'm third generation historically black college. I'm very fortunate that both of my grandfathers attended historically black college. Both of my parents attended historically black college. That's where they met. And I was blessed to be able to attend and graduate from Wilberforce University. So even though Wilberforce is small, but we're mighty, and we provide education solutions that many other larger schools just cannot. The cultural competency on these smaller campuses is valuable for that student that needs a little extra support. They want to know, hey, why aren't you in class? Or do you need some help? So those are all important aspects of making sure students are successful.
And excuse
Thank
me,
you.
Madam Chair, the local impact statement
Right.
is up there at the dais for you guys. It's the white and blue sheet.
Thank you. Are these for funds for just freshmen college
No, ma'am.
aspirants or any?
No, ma'am. This,
Great.
again, UNCF provides to and through scholarships. So if you're a senior in high school, you're going to apply to be a freshman. Then you're going to apply again so you can get money to be a
Okay.
sophomore.
Okay.
Then you can apply again to get money to be a senior.
So it's not one-off?
No,
For one,
absolutely.
for
And
a
it's
particular
graduate
student?
school, PhD, medical school,
keep
dental
trying.
school, whatever.
Okay.
Whatever. We've got students that have gone all the way through. So
Okay,
we just
fantastic.
need people to know.
Do you work with any of the local College Now, for example?
Yes,
You
yes,
do
we do.
all work in
And
collaboration?
Cleveland Metropolitan School District, we have a strong relationship with them. College Now is another organization that shares our information. We'll work with anybody that has an opportunity to educate and communicate our process for students. Our website is available to anybody, uncf.org. If you want to look, there's all kind of stuff on there. So uncf.org, and our mission, scholarships, internships, STEM. We also have K through 12 advocacy that we do have on Capitol Hill. So UNCF is a powerful institution that needs your support so we can support more students.
Okay, thank you so much. Any other questions, Council President?
Just a little clarity, you said that Cleveland Now shares your information, or you share your information with Cleveland Now?
Absolutely.
What did you mean by that in terms of?
Well, I mean, we have other organizations all across the country. Cleveland Now is I don't know all that they do, but I know that they do provide information to students for college preparation and readiness. So our information is available. They attended our event. I've communicated with them on numerous occasions. So we'll help them or help anybody else let students know where our money is. Churches, organizations, Greek organizations. I know that my fraternity, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, we have a scholarship. Deltas have a scholarship. Alphas have a scholarship. But again, that's just another opportunity. So our funds alone are not necessarily enough, but it helps because we give out more money than anybody.
Make them aware of the availability of your scholarship.
Absolutely, absolutely.
How much have you given here locally in Cleveland towards scholarships?
You should have it
Annually
in your.
In our packet?
Yes, sir. And again, that number was as of last year, but we've raised over $350,000 just in the last 18 months here in Cleveland since I've taken the territory. And I believe that with your support and a little more hard work on my part, we can double that.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
So I'll add my name in support of this and ask for a motion to move this matter out of committee to the next full council meeting for a second reading with a recommendation of adoption on third reading.
So moved, and could you add my name?
Second?
All in favor?
Add my name as well.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So this carries with the names from committee to add.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
do add my name as well.
Okay, I can ask
all
the
of
clerk
us.
to add it. I guess everybody here will add their names. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Come
God bless
back
you
and
very
visit
much.
us. We'll ask you to, I'll probably have you back in committee to report back after, 12 months
It'll be
less
my
to see
pleasure.
where you are.
It'll be my pleasure.
Okay, thank you.
Very much. God bless you.
Okay, see you soon. All right, so I want to, for the record, reflect that Councilwoman Conwell's here. If it wasn't obvious, she spoke, but for the record. And then I think we might lose one member of the committee, two? Okay, so we have a presentation. Okay. Thank you. Our next, we do have a presentation we've been waiting for, I have for a while, from Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District to talk about their green infrastructure grant program. So please come up and introduce yourself.
Hi, good afternoon, Council Chair, Council Committee members. I'm Matt Sharver. I'm the Deputy Director of Watershed Programs at the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District. And two objectives today. Thank you for having us back. We want to provide a refresher on our Green Infrastructure Grants program, and then give you an update on how we've incorporated your $1 million contribution into our 2023 funding round. So,
Yeah, thank you, because you were here before and we had follow-up questions and I asked for more specifics on what we're going to speak of today. So thank you.
And before I start into the presentation, I just want to recognize my colleagues that are here today. So Jacqueline Mohammed, who is our Senior Manager of Government and Customer Relations, and also Crystal Davis, who is our Program Manager for Government Affairs, are here today and can answer any follow-up questions that you might have.
Welcome to the committee.
So just a little bit of background on green infrastructure itself. This is stormwater control measures that help restore, mimic the natural hydrologic function in our landscape. Often this is used in the urban setting where we have a lot of impervious or hard surfaces to try to address stormwater management. This is a tool that helps us increase our resiliency for sewer infrastructure, particularly in the urban environment with sewer collection systems. And it's also an opportunity to create healthier, stronger communities. So the sewer district has had a green infrastructure grants program for some time, and we use that to address our combined sewer overflow collection system area. These are just examples of practices, stormwater control measures or green infrastructure control measures that are often used in this arena. So permeable pavers, bioretention are typical practices that we see in Northeast Ohio, but we also, in our portfolio of granted projects, we have green roofs and even innovative projects like the living wall that you see in the upper left corner. This is in Hingetown. That's a facade that's greened, and roof water that's captured is sent down to cisterns and then pumped back up to irrigate that facade. So it's a creative way to use captured stormwater in the combined sewer area. This table shows our history since 2014 when we launched our program. You can see our total in 2023 of the $2.5 million that will be allocated in this funding round, which is our 8th funding round. $1 million of that is from the county's contribution. So we're up to $13 million in total since 2014, and we've captured or treated annually 36 million gallons of stormwater in the combined sewer area. So I've mentioned the combined sewer area several times, and this is a map that depicts where that area is. The combined sewer area is the area in purple, and it's about approximately 71 square miles. It's mainly the city of Cleveland and portions of 10 inner ring communities in Cuyahoga County. The area in blue is the remainder of our Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District service area. So it's a pretty sizable area, and the yellow dots that you see there on the map are current active green infrastructure grant program projects. So we've got good distribution underway across that purple combined sewer area. So the eligibility requirements, projects have to be within that combined sewer area or tributary to, which means those areas go to one of our wastewater treatment plants, mainly our easterly and westerly plants. The area, the inset map there, you see, again, the area in yellow is the combined sewer area. The area in blue this time is the remainder of our service area.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Now that we're on this slide, why, I guess just if you can explain the restriction to the combined sewer purple area, why?
Great
that's-
question. So the focus is on trying to address stormwater management, removal or treatment of stormwater in the combined sewer area to complement other efforts to reduce combined sewer overflows to either the Cuyahoga River or Lake Erie.
So are these combined overflow systems unique to the purple area, or do they exist outside of the purple area?
They're only in the purple
Only.
area. So
What do you
we've-
mean, combined?
So combined sewers, great question.
Sewer and storm?
Sewer and storm, so street drainage, residential waste, all go into the same pipe to the treatment plant to be treated. During large rain events, that system overflows purposefully to the environment to protect businesses and homes from having basement backups and flooding. So we release untreated wastewater to the environment. So that's a combined sewer overflow. And there's requirements and permits that we have to follow to address that. This is one wet weather program that we have to be more expansive in trying to address that. It complements our Project Clean Lake, which is our large tunnel program that's really attacking the large volume issue of combined sewer overflows.
Was this the EPA mandate?
So the US EPA, the Ohio EPA, and the Department of Justice have placed a consent decree on the region, on Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District to address those combined sewer overflows. Yes, correct.
So South Euclid had a storm and sewer pipes, I think one on top or next adjacent.
So that's
not this, because they would flow separately into where they're supposed to go, and there's no overflow.
right. That's another problem
It's another
within
one,
our
I know.
collection system, and those are called common trench sewer. So you could have sewer, storm, and sanitary on top of each other or in the same trench. Usually, as they age and deteriorate, they have cross transference of storm and sanitary, and they also can cause sanitary sewer overflows. But those are defined as separate sewer systems. Correct.
It seems like, yeah, this is a more egregious issue with the overflow.
It's
It's a purposeful.
combined sewer overflows are our worst offenders, and then common trench sewers are close behind in second. So
Okay, thanks. Okay, Councilman.
Do we have statistics for a number of years as to what the total amount of combined sewer overflow has been and whether it's trending in the right direction?
we do, Councilman. We have historical data that we can get to the committee. We are trending in a positive direction. So as each new tunnel system comes online in Project Clean Lake, we're taking hundreds of millions of gallons of combined sewer out of the system and preventing it from overflowing. So we look at that from a activation of individual combined sewer overflow outfalls, as well as total volume. So that number is steadily decreasing. Our Project Clean Lake program is projected to be completed in 2036, so we have several years yet to implement, but that is trending downward.
And do we have a target date for complete elimination?
We won't have complete elimination, but we will have the highest capture rate in the country at 98% around 2036 when our last tunnel system and other improvements are made in the combined sewer system. So that's something that's required by our consent decree with the federal and state government.
Okay, thank you.
So just finishing on this slide, projects or applicants that are eligible. So Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District member communities are eligible that are in that combined sewer area. Other governmental entities, political subdivisions are eligible. Nonprofits, 501c3s are eligible, and private businesses working in partnership with their communities are eligible. So we have a suite of eligible applicants, and all of those different types take advantage of our program. This table is the second point that we wanted to bring to the committee. This is how we've been able to use the funds allocated for this year in our 2023 round, which is inclusive of the $1 million from the county in our grants program. So the top line there is our design and construction awards, and we have over $2 million worth of awards in total for that design and construction projects. $625,000 of that is from the $1 million that the county has provided. We do have design-only projects that we award, which basically builds a pipeline of projects to come back for construction in Green Infrastructure Grants Program. And so we have a couple of awards there at $50,000. We're awarding $250,000 to Cleveland Metro Parks for a project that they have on Garfield Boulevard in the city of Garfield Heights, connecting the Mill Creek Trail connector to the Garfield Reservation, where the Metro Parks is making a pretty significant investment in that Metro Park reservation. And then lastly, we're partnering with the Cleveland Neighborhood Progress. They are going to implement planning areas so that we can further develop targeted green infrastructure implementation within neighborhoods within the combined sewer area. And that's a contribution or an award of $125,000. So that's how we are planning to use the $1 million worth of county complementary funds to the Green Infrastructure Grants Program for 2023. And just wanted to provide a map of the Cleveland Metro Parks project. This is Garfield Boulevard highlighted in pink there, connecting Warner Road on the left of the screen to Turney Road on the right, and then on through to Garfield Reservation, which is circled there in yellow. So this will be, this is quite a wide, it's basically a 4-lane roadway now. The plan is to put bioretention in the center of the road with trail connections. So we'll have a significant, about 1.3 million gallons of stormwater capture. So this is a great project for us to invest in terms of providing stormwater control in a combined sewer area, in an under-resourced area, bringing additional co-benefits to the Metro Parks' efforts to uplift the Garfield Reservation.
Ask a question on that slide.
Sure.
So this is going to be in the road, under the road, above it? Is it a natural type basin?
It'll be a bioretention, will be the practice that's
Obviously.
mainly used, and it'll be in the road right of way.
Okay. I mean, what's it going to look
So
like?
it's in the center line. It's like
Yeah.
it'll be a boulevard style
Oh.
reconstruction of Garfield Boulevard.
Grass?
now it's paved.
What's going to be on top?
So there'll be plantings,
Planting.
there'll be mulch beds and plantings that are depressed that capture stormwater runoff from the roadway, directed to enhanced sandy soils for infiltration and treatment.
And flow to the park?
It
Connect
won't flow
the
to the park. It'll be then underdrained into the local sewer system, but they'll have treatment and removal of some of that stormwater that's captured off the roadway. About
Do you have
one-
any examples of this? Anyplace else, a boulevard type?
I do, coming up in a
Oh,
few
thanks,
slides.
sorry.
So
All right,
that's
I'm
fine.
sorry.
Great
I'll
question.
be quiet.
Great lead-in question.
All right.
So just going to segue into a couple examples. So this is Urban Community School on East 48th. They were vacating East 48th Street and converting that into a parking lot. And so they took advantage of our Green Infrastructure Grants Program and used permeable pavers, which are shown there with the red arrows, to treat stormwater management at their school facility. So a good example there. These are past projects that have been completed. This is the Providence House, which is a crisis nursery on the west side. They were in a position to install complete permeable pavers in their parking lot to encourage infiltration and stormwater removal at their location, removing that stormwater from the combined system. This is in Newburgh Heights. Newburgh Heights, the village of Newburgh Heights came to us and applied for a project where they are taking stormwater runoff from East 55th Street. This would be similar to the Garfield Boulevard example, sending it through that trench drain that you see there, cutting across or underneath through the sidewalk into what you see in the background is a bioretention swale or cell. Fully vegetated, sandy soils for infiltration. You can plant trees in them for co-benefits. That absorbs that stormwater and manages keeping it from the combined system. And then this is the McGregor Senior Assisted Living facility in East Cleveland. They were building new facilities and have incorporated permeable pavers into their parking lot to treat stormwater runoff there. So I just wanted to end with kind of a broad view of the problem across Northeast Ohio. This outlines the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District service area. What you see highlighted in blue is the impervious area. About 129 square miles of our 363 square mile service area is hard surface, roads, rooftops, driveways, where that stormwater quickly runs off and exasperates combined sewer overflows and other issues associated with stormwater management. You can see as we get closer to the combined sewer area, that core area around the city of Cleveland and those 10 inner-ring communities, the impervious surface is quite significant. And we didn't do a very good job in the past. And so what this graphic shows is population growth on the left axis. On the bottom axis is time, decades going forward. And you can see it wasn't until the 1980s that we really started to address flood control from a regulation standpoint. And it wasn't until the 1990s and recent that we addressed water quality issues. So the problem's been here for a long time. We've just not done a very good job of trying to manage it from a regulation standpoint. So we're doing a lot of catch up. So programs like the Green Infrastructure Grants Program and your contribution to that helps us do that. And then lastly, just to end on the significance of the issue, as green infrastructure is one tool that we use. There's much stormwater management that's needed across the region, and our regional stormwater management program helps to address that beyond the combined sewer area. And through our master planning efforts that we've just recently completed for much of Cuyahoga County and the rest of our service area, we've identified $1.3 billion worth of need for infrastructure and improvement investment to address stormwater issues across the region. So there's significant problems elsewhere or across the region, but green infrastructure is one of those important tools that we're using to combat and add resiliency to our systems. So with that, I'll take any questions.
Thank you. Questions from committee, Councilwoman?
Yes. How do you make people aware of these grants? And is one of those people that are aware agencies the County Planning Commission?
So we are pretty active on our website, making sure that we have current information available, and then cycling through our past applicants. We hold a workshop annually to let potential applicants know. We work with the local community development corporations. They're often applicants, or they work with private entities to become applicants. So we've used those mechanisms. I believe the County Planning Commission is aware of our programs, and they help advocate and let folks know that this program is available.
Thank you.
Okay. So these retention basins, the ones you referred to, the one in Garfield, that's similar to like rain garden structure, it looks to me.
Similar,
like
very
just a
similar to
large
rain
rain
gardens.
garden.
Mm-hmm. But more engineered to handle greater volumes of water.
This will be helpful with all the rain and precipitation coming from the climate change that we see happening. Okay, Council President.
I guess I'll make sure I'm grasping what we're seeing here. Garfield Boulevard, that's a street, and you're transforming it?
Yes, Cleveland Metro
never-
Parks will be transforming Garfield Boulevard, and so we're contributing funds to enable them to implement these stormwater practices within that transformation to treat stormwater within the boulevard that might not otherwise have been done.
Will it still be the same number of lanes? Or will it be
I believe it will still be the same number of lanes, and the Metro Parks and the city of Garfield will maintain that infrastructure once it's in place.
so there are sidewalks on both sides of the street. People walk along.
There'll be,
Are they going to be transformed? Are they going to be changed, if not the street?
I don't believe the sidewalks will be transformed. They'll be likely replaced. And then I believe there'll be a trail system connecting Warner Road through the boulevard onto Turney and then through that stretch of Garfield Boulevard that connects to Garfield Reservation. So there's a trail connection piece to that boulevard reinvestment.
I guess the hard part I'm having is visualizing what it's going to look like. Is there, like you just meant, there's a connecting residential block between them and the park. So the park's got trails, you walk along, and am I expecting to see some type of trail right there on the boulevard between Warner and Turney?
There'll be a trail system connecting those, but then there'll also be a median that will be implemented that will be green. So right now Garfield Boulevard is pavement from curb to curb. And
And that's going to change.
that's going to be changed.
Curb, sidewalk where people walking, now going to become a trail on both sides or something? Or
There'll be a trail on one
one
side,
on
right,
one side.
and then sidewalk on another, but there'll be green infrastructure in the middle of that transformed broad boulevard.
Okay. Okay. You obviously you've talked with the city as well. The city is fully aware of.
Yes, coordinated with the city of Garfield Heights.
And unless I missed it, when is the date for? Is there a date set for when this will begin?
The Garfield Boulevard project, I don't believe it'll begin until 2024. They're still working through design, detailed design, but 2024, I believe, is when they're going to kick off construction.
So thank you, Council President represents Garfield. And so this will be functional. It's also going to be beautiful. It's going to help beautify. I think it will improve the aesthetics of that whole area.
Absolutely.
It will be pretty,
Requested by the city, or did you?
This was an agreement between the district and Cleveland Metro Parks. So Cleveland Metro Parks approached the district, and then we coordinated with Metro Parks and the city of Garfield Heights to make sure that we were understanding of the maintenance requirements and who was responsible for the maintenance, the long-term maintenance for this investment.
Okay. All right, great. So when I walk around the park, I'll walk around the park, and then I'll just cut down the Garfield Boulevard.
And you should be able to get to Warner Road and on down to the Mill Creek Trail that takes you down into Cuyahoga Heights then.
Yeah, sounds good. All right.
okay.
I'd like to add my name to this as well.
Okay, great. I can add my name. So this came from Councilman Miller's vision to this grant. He's not here to take the credit, but he was the one who brought this to our attention to give this grant, ARPA grant, to the district to be able to, increase the projects because there's such a huge need.
And it did, and we appreciate that
did.
contribution.
So do you want to say anything, ladies, leaders in the audience? You came down here. Come on up. Okay. Thanks for coming down. I don't want you to waste an opportunity to say anything. So thank you very much. Keep us posted. We appreciate it. So that can, I don't have any future business. We'll come back with, I guess, a say yes follow-up at some point, and that's a work in progress. That being said, we're adjourned. Thanks, everyone.